In this session, I'm going to talk about population stabilization and birth control. Population stabilization and birth control. Now, if we look at in the last century, there is a lot of development in various fields. Okay, in the last century, there is all round development in various fields. So those various fields, like in case of medicine, right, a number of medicines availability, and the surgeries, okay, and then the lifestyle, and then the food and its quality have considerably increased, and because of that it had an impact on the right improvement of human life. So that's what it significantly improved the quality of life of humans. Okay, so it had a significant improvement in the quality of life of humans here. Now, right, increased health facilities with better living conditions. So this is also one development. So there is an increased health facilities with better, okay, living conditions. This also has resulted, okay, in explosive impact on the growth of population. So it had, okay, it had explosive impact on growth of population. Right, now we will look at world populations and also the populations of India. We'll see here, right, world population. Right, in 1900, the world population was only just 2 billion. Okay, and by 2000, this population increased a lot, and it became 6 billion. Right, and now when they have taken 2011 census report, and in 2011 we came to know the world population is around 7.2 billion. Right, now we'll look at the India population, and we already know India significantly contributed right, a huge population to the world population. Here we'll see, okay, in around 1947, so that is okay, at the time of independence. So here at the time of independence, the India population was only 350 million. Okay, now this population which was only around 350, okay, a million, right, it became, you know what you say, by 2000, the population reached close to 1 billion mark. It reached to, okay, 1 billion mark. Now here again in 2011, when we have taken the census report, we came to know the population is around okay 1.2 billion, right? So out of 7.2 billion, right, 1.2 billion population, okay, comes from India here. So it means that almost every seventh person in the world belongs to India, right? So this is a little information on the populations, okay, in the world and also in India. And with this, we have clearly understood India significantly contributed to the population of world. Now, right, what are the reasons for this population explosion? We'll see, right, some more reasons. Okay, already okay, here we have seen one reason. So one reason for population explosion, so increased health facilities with the better living conditions obviously, okay, had an impact on the growth of population. Now we'll see some more reasons for population explosion. Right. So now under this we have is one, rapid decline in MMR, okay, so which stands for maternal mortality rate. Okay, so here the maternal mortality rate are the mothers, okay, because there is an improved health facilities available because of improved, okay, health facilities. Nowadays the death of the mothers is very less, and okay, and because of that, okay, that is also one reason for an increased population. So there is a rapid decline in MMR, maternal mortality rate. And again another one is a again decline in, okay, IMR. This stands for infant mortality rate. So here infants are the newborns, and in the case of newborns, their death, because now we have even the critical conditions also being treated, okay, and making the young ones to live, and because of that also, okay, population explosion taking place. Okay, so decline in IMR, that is infant mortality rate. Okay, here the mortality, which stands for the death. Okay, so death of mothers and the death of the young ones considerably decreased due to, okay, better health facilities that are available nowadays. Okay, then right, increase in nutritional standards. Okay, increase in nutritional standards. Already I said, okay, we have a good quality of food available nowadays, and that also have increased, that also considerably had an impact on the population growth. Then there is better health care. Okay, there is a better health care because again a lot of health facilities are available. Okay, then early marriages, right? So in India, this is one which also played a role in population explosion. So early marriages, right? And then ignorance and poverty. We know, so in earlier days, okay, the people in India, so most of them were uneducated, okay, and did not have a proper education, and all that definitely results in ignorance, and also due to lack of money, and so poverty also has led to population explosion here. Then in want of sun. So here in India has a kind of right tradition that most of the families definitely like to have a son, are the one actually who can carry surname for generations. So in want of son, they may have 3 4 daughters, okay, and after that they may have finally a boy, right? Until then they may have a lot of what I call children, and that also has played a role, okay, in population explosion in case of India. Then there is also a, okay, technological, right, advancement in the field of medical science, in the field of medical science. And okay, this has resulted in, okay, increase in the life expectancy, increase in the life expectancy of humans. So there is a, okay, life expectancy also increased, right? So earlier people may die due to diseases and so many other ill conditions very early, but now okay, a very less number of people die at an early ages, okay, and most of them live for a very long time due to, okay, better availability of these health facilities, right? So this right, these are all some reasons which actually resulted in population explosion, okay, in case of India. Now, according to 2011 census report, so according to this 2011 census report, the population growth rate was less than 2%. So it's only less than 2%, okay. That is which indicates that there are 20 new individuals added, okay, per every 1,000 members per year, okay. But even though it is less than 2%, this is a, okay, alarming value. So this is right, an alarming growth rate, right? And at that rate, okay, so such growth rate can lead to, okay, if such growth rates take place, so there will be definitely an absolute, it leads to an absolute scarcity of basic requirements also. So here, right, the basic requirements like food availability. So even the food availability can become less if the growth rates increase at, okay, such an alarming condition. Now, not only food, so there may be problem with the shelter, and also, right, clothing, etc. Can be they can get impact, okay, because of an alarming growth rates. Now let's see what will be the steps that we need to take to overcome such an alarming growth rates, okay. So now, right, some most important steps, okay, to overcome this problem, okay, I mean to overcome right, such an alarming growth rate. To overcome such an alarming growth rate, so what we are going to take, okay, what steps we are going to take, okay, to overcome this growth rate. Now we need to motivate to have smaller families, right, smaller families with maximum two children, one or two children, okay. So we need to motivate smaller families, okay. In many cases, many families like to have okay, bigger families with 9 children or 10 children, okay, right, in earlier days. And definitely I told that is one reason for population growth in case of India here, okay. Now this can be achieved by using various contraceptive methods. So contraceptive methods are, okay, there are different methods where we can use, okay, to stop the pregnancy or to give spacing between pregnancies. What are all those contraceptives, how we are going to use them, I will be discussing in the coming session absolutely in detail, right. Now this is one, okay, way of overcoming right, the population explosion, right. In this case also government and non-government agencies, right, they had advertised a lot, saying like okay, hum do hamare do, so which means we two, our two, means the father, mother and two children in the family to a maximum, okay, right. So that is to motivate smaller families, and the government agencies are taking necessary steps, okay, and also advertising in this way to promote the smaller families. The next one, right, one child norm, means to have only one child in the family. So here this norm has been taken by many people, in which many people in the families where both the members are working. So in that case, if they have more children, it's quite difficult for them to, okay, take care of their children. So for that reason they have adopted one child norm, okay. So this is adopted by, okay, so this is mostly adapted by young urban working people, okay. So that is adopted by young urban working people because they don't have time to take care, and usually they have a maximum of one child. And another one is the statutory, okay, raise, okay, of marriageable age. So we have increased the marriageable, okay, age, where in case of female, the female should be 18 years, okay, old to get married, and in case of a male, the male should be 21 years old. Only when the female is 18 years and right, and the male is 21 years, right, then only they are allowed to marry. So this is a, okay, a rise in the marriageable age. Earlier in India we used to see a lot of child marriages, okay, that was that also has led to population explosion. We have seen okay, as one point under population explosion, okay, right. So there is a statutory rise of marriageable age here. The next one, right, is to give incentives to the smaller families. So in many states, governments have taken necessary steps to give, okay, some amount, okay, to the families that are very very small and usually have only one child, okay, or maximum of two. So such families were given with incentives, and this indicates that the government like to promote, okay, only the families that are very much smaller. Okay, so these are some important steps, okay, that we need to consider to reduce or to control the growth rate here. Okay, right. To control the population, the governments of different countries, including India, they started to take many steps, and one such step is family planning, which I have already introduced in the first session. Now we'll talk about that family planning, right, and also various contraceptive methods that help the family planning, right. Family planning. Now we'll define this first, that a program to regulate the number okay, I mean to regulate the number and spacing of children through the practice, right, through the practice of contraception methods, or okay, other birth control methods. So here the family planning, it simply means, okay, to regulate the number and spacing of children. So we need to, okay, so I told already that there must be there must be right, smaller families, and government is also right, trying to make and advertise about the smaller families. Okay, so here, so family planning simply means to regulate the number and spacing of children, okay, and that too with the practice, okay, of right, contraception methods or any other birth control methods. I will discuss all those contraceptive methods in detail here. So now here, right, we'll see about contraception, and this also will define how the contraception, okay, what it means. It is any method that prevents pregnancy, is any method that prevents pregnancy as a consequence of sexual intercourse, as a consequence of sexual intercourse. Okay, now I'm going to classify various contraceptive methods and all, okay, in detail. Let's see the various contraceptive methods. Now here, these various contraceptive methods I have classified mainly into two categories: natural or traditional contraceptive methods and artificial methods. Now here, under the natural or traditional contraceptive methods, we have physiological methods. Okay, and under these physiological methods, we have periodic abstinence, withdrawal method, also called coitus interruptus, and also another one called lactational amenorrhea. I will be discussing in detail about each one of it. Okay, so how this periodic abstinence, okay, is performed and everything. Okay, so here whatever we I have given, okay, as a flow diagram, so all of them I will be talking in detail. Next one, under artificial methods, which I classified into temporary or spacing methods and terminal or permanent methods. Okay, so here, right, these temporary or spacing methods, where I have included barrier methods. We'll talk about all those barrier methods here. Then IUDs, right, the IUDs which stands for intrauterine devices. So what are all those intrauterine devices? Right, we'll see them. The next, under chemical contraception, we have is oral contraception, then injectables and implants, which we'll be talking about. Next, coming to the terminal or permanent methods, we have vasectomy, and this vasectomy is performed only in males, and in tubectomy is performed only in males. Now, out of these various contraceptive methods, right, some of the contraceptive methods will be or can be used only by the females, and okay, some by both male and females, right. We'll see which one will be used, okay, whether the periodic abstinence, okay, in case of male or a female, whatever the barrier methods, where both the male and the females have the options in case of barrier methods. IUDs will be used only in case of females. Even the chemical contraception is also in case of females here. Okay, we'll talk in detail about various contraceptive methods. First, let's see about natural methods or traditional methods. So under this, I told physiological methods. Okay, so there are three physiological methods, okay, that are usually followed by couples to avoid pregnancy or to give a space between one child and other, right. Now under this, the first one, I'll talk about the periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence, also called, right, rhythm method, also called rhythm method. So now here, in the case of rhythm method, right, one have to have knowledge on the right physiological changes occurring during the menstrual cycle. So there must be, okay, knowledge of physiological changes occurring during menstrual cycle, okay, is required, right. So here usually we know that in the last chapter we have studied, okay, the menstrual cycle, and we have come to know here that it is on usually the 14th day is the ovulation, okay, day, especially in a typical, okay, 28, right, or a 29 day, okay, menstrual cycle. Now, right, at, in this case, right, they have to avoid coitus near the days of ovulation. So they have to avoid, okay, coitus near the days of ovulation here, because if it is the case, if the coitus takes place, okay, right on the day of ovulation, there will be the maximum chance of the sperm meeting with the egg, and that can result in fertilization, and which may lead to, okay, pregnancy. So in the periodic abstinence, right, usually, right, from day 10 to 17 are avoided, okay. So these are the days where there is a maximum chance of okay, ovulation here. So here we say that even though the ovulation is on 14th day, it is not like you cannot say that exactly on the 14th day here, okay. Right, it can take place right between these days, okay. So from 10 to 17, okay, right, coitus should be avoided, okay. And for this reason, a person have to know the exact days of okay, repeating menstrual cycle. In all women, the menstrual cycle will not be exactly for 28 to 29 days. It may be for 30 days, or it may be for 31 days or 32 days, and so on and so, okay. And whatever that number of days, okay, what we mean here is the middle of that menstrual cycle will be the ovulation time, okay. And it can happen, okay, anywhere, okay, between okay, some 3-4 days earlier or 3-4 days later, okay, from that middle day, right. So for that reasons, one have to avoid, okay, the coitus during or near the ovulation, okay, days. Now, is this a reliable method, okay? If everything goes correct, then definitely it's a reliable method, and here the side effects are nil. If we talk about in other contraceptives like IUDs and chemical contraceptives, there will be a lot of right, ill effects or side effects that we will discuss in the coming class, okay. But in the natural methods, and almost all natural methods, there won't be any side effects, so the side effects are completely nil. But okay, we need to keep in mind that there is more chance of failure. So there is more chance of failure here in case of periodic abstinence or the rhythm method. Here only the days from 1 to 9, okay, and 18 to 28 are mostly safe for sexual intercourse, okay. And that we cannot say exactly here, okay. Even though I have given the number, it's not like as in, okay, right, as we calculate in case of mathematics and all, it will not be exactly in case of right, a living organism. So here only the days, here I gave a tentative days. Here it all depends upon person to person also. So depending on that person to person, need to calculate the total number of okay, days in that menstrual cycle, and then calculate the exact middle day or the ovulation day, and okay, few days before that and a few days after that sexual intercourse should be avoided. And I said that it's not a 100% okay reliable method, and there is more chance of failure okay in this physiological method called periodic abstinence or rhythm method.